All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever wanted to get really good at something? Like truly master a skill? Well, we're going to dive into this amazing book, The Art of Learning, and pull out 5 simple, super powerful lessons that you can use to master, well, pretty much anything.
But before we get to the lessons, I want you to think about this for a second. What if the real secret to getting better wasn't actually about winning at all? I know, it sounds a little crazy, right? But this is the key to everything we're about to talk about.
And that brings us straight to lesson number 1. You have got to fall in love with the process, not the prizes. It's all about the journey, the grind, the daily practice, not just the shiny trophy at the end. I love this quote. It totally flips the script on what we think of as success, doesn't it? The idea is that the real win isn't the medal around your neck. It's who you become on the way to getting that medal. That's the stuff that sticks with you for life. The growth, the resilience, the good stuff. Okay, so what does that actually look like in real life? Well, it means you start giving yourself a pat on the back for putting in the work, not just for getting the W. You ask yourself, was I focused? What did I learn? And hey, when you do win, for sure, celebrate it. Appreciate all the sweat that went into it. And then you move on to the next thing.
All right, let's get into our second lesson. And this one might sound a little backward at first, but here it is. To get really, really good, you actually need to lose.
Think about it. Those gut-wrenching losses, they're actually way more valuable than an easy win. Why? Because a loss is like a diagnostic report. It's pure data. It puts a giant flashing arrow on exactly what you need to fix. An easy win? It doesn't really teach you much at all.
And this is the crazy part. It's not just about being okay with losing when it happens. The book calls this investing in loss. It means you actively go looking for challenges where you might fail. You pick the tougher opponent on purpose. You take on the harder project, because you know that's where the real growth happens. It's like you're putting failure in your savings account today, so you can cash in on success later.
And who's the perfect example of this? Michael Jordan, of course. We all remember him for hitting those epic, game-winning shots. But what we forget is that he also missed more game-winning shots than anyone else. His greatness wasn't that he was perfect. It was that he was always willing to put himself on the line, to take the shot no matter what. That's guts.
Okay, lesson number 3. And this one busts a huge myth about mastery. We often think that experts have some kind of secret sauce, some magic trick. But the truth? It's all about mastering the simple things, the fundamentals.
Seriously, think about any world-class performer. A musician, an athlete, a chef. It's not some crazy, mysterious technique that makes them great. It's that they are so unbelievably good at the basics that it's just automatic. It's like breathing to them.
So how do our brains even do that? Well, there's this cool process called chunking. Your brain takes a whole lot of little pieces of information, finds the pattern, and bundles them up into one single mental file. So instead of thinking, lift foot, move forward, place foot down, you just have one chunk called walking. It's how complex things become simple.
So here's the recipe for mastering the basics. First, don't try to learn everything at once. Go for depth, not breadth. Pick one thing. Second, break it down into the tiniest possible pieces, or chunks. And third, use really focused practice to glue those chunks together until they're one smooth, effortless motion.
But look, you can have the most amazing skills on the planet, but if you choke under pressure, they're kind of useless, right? And that's where our 4th lesson comes in. This one's a biggie. Become mentally tough. This right here is what separates the good from the legends. Mental resilience. It's that ability to hold it together when the pressure is on, when your heart is pounding and everything seems to be falling apart. Let's be honest. Look at this chart. Most of us, when things get uncomfortable, we want to run. We get hit by a wave of emotion and it just takes over. But look at how champions react. They're actually okay with being uncomfortable. They take that nervous energy and turn it into laser focus. And if they make a mistake, they don't fall apart. They reset and get right back in the game.
So, where do you train this mental muscle? Well, here's a wild idea from the book. Your best teachers? They're the annoying people, the tough opponents, the dirty players, the ones who get under your skin. They're actually doing you a favor. Every time they push your buttons, it's a free training session on how to stay calm and focused.
Okay, so we've got these 4 massive lessons, but talk is cheap, right? What's the one thing you can do, like today, to actually start building this foundation for yourself?
Well, it turns out that all these things we've been talking about, being present, staying focused, recovering from a setback, they can all be trained with one super simple exercise.
Here it is. It's a 2-minute mental workout. But And this is the most important part of this whole thing, so listen up. The magic isn't in step 3, just focusing on your breath. The real workout is step 4. That moment when your mind drifts off, and trust me, it will, and you notice and you gently bring it back. That is the rep. That's a mental push-up. Every time you do that, you are literally training your brain to recover from distraction, to come back to center, just like a champion.
So there you have it. Love the process, invest in your losses, master the basics, and build that mental toughness. Now that you have the tools, the only question left is, what are you going to choose to master?